So it's day 13 of Camp NaNoWriMo. It's about 7 o'clock at night. I was supposed to film yesterday. I did not, so I'm filming tonight. So as I've mentioned before, I teach at a local college. And it's not stressful. It's a part-time job. It's fine. I taught in public schools for 6 years, and so nothing compares to that level of stress, but the beginning and end of each semester are the most stressful times, especially when you have a large number of students trying to turn in work from throughout the semester in this final week. Yeah, it's a lot, but we're getting through it. We have one more full week and then like a half a week, so I'll be done after the 25th of April. I'm trying to keep that in mind. I tried really hard to plan ahead and just get everything I needed to do done before April started, but I didn't account for people turning in essays from 3 months ago that I need to grade. So I wanted to talk about my general thoughts and feelings about Camp NaNoWriMo now that I'm halfway through the month. So I thought I would organize my thoughts on Camp NaNoWriMo so far into kind of like the challenges and then the good stuff. So I'm going to start with the challenges so I can spend more time on the good stuff. So one challenge I've been having, which I had during regular NaNoWriMo as well, is that I'm just not able to be consistent every day. Like one day I'll have a really good day and then I might have 1 or 2 bad writing days. It's not a terrible way to write, I don't think, but honestly I was doing that even before the month started. So I think that's just a normal thing to do when you're giving yourself a daily word goal. You're gonna have good days and bad days, and that's okay as long as you're still writing. Another challenge, I went into it thinking it was gonna be super relaxed because that's all I had heard about Camp NaNoWriMo, is that it's more flexible and you get to set your own goals and it's just like easier, was the impression that I got. Which obviously my goal is only 40,000 words, so my daily goal is 1,333 words, which is still a lot of words. My goal before then had been 1,000 a day, and I felt like that was a pretty reasonable number for me to fit in to my life. So just those extra 300 words has made a difference in challenge level. But I knew going into this, I wanted to get through the first draft this month so I could go on to revising my novel and working on it further, and that was my goal. So of course, like, it's good that I'm challenging myself like that, but of course I cannot speak today. Maybe that's why I've been having trouble writing, is because my mind is not functioning well for some reason. Another challenge, of course, is just posting videos twice a week. I was gonna try to do 3 times a week, but I found that that was too much for me. And so posting, like yesterday, I just did not want to film. I was doing a lot of grading yesterday and just stuff around the house, and I was exhausted and I just didn't want to film, and I felt kind of bad, but then I realized that it was more important that I fit in writing yesterday than fitting in filming. So I ended up getting around 500 words, which I started writing after midnight, so that was pretty good. I wrote from like midnight to 1 a.m. and got 500 words, but obviously I'm gonna have to stop having those days if I want to have a chance of completing my goal of 40,000 words. Another challenge, which I'm sure everyone faces, is I've been more distracted than ever, especially this past week. I think that you go into a challenge like NaNoWriMo or Camp NaNoWriMo and you're super excited the first week, and then the second week that excitement fades a little bit and you start to get more distracted and a little bit burnt out if you did a lot that first week. And so I've been easily distracted. For example, this is kind of a funny story. I was writing a scene and I thought about, I wonder what my middle school best friend is up to. I moved after the 7th grade to a different state, and so we don't live in the same town. We were friends like 5th, 6th grade. Halfway through 7th grade, she stopped being friends with me because I wasn't cool anymore, which, you know, hurt at the time, but it was fine in the long run. A few years ago, I would say like 5 years ago, she Facebook messaged me just to catch up. And then after that conversation, I noticed that she wasn't on Facebook anymore. So I hadn't really thought much about it in the past 5 years. But of course, when you're trying to do something really important, you start thinking about these things. And so I thought, like, what is she up to? The last I heard from her, she had a baby boy. He's now, I'm guessing, like 6 or 7. She was in school, I believe, and doing pretty well. So I decided I want to know what she's been doing. And so I started looking around, and she of course deleted her Facebook. She didn't have an Instagram. So then I got really creepy and I started looking for her family, like her siblings, her parents. I eventually found her sister. There was no mention of her. And at this point I was starting to get worried, like, is she dead? Because who doesn't have social media accounts today? Through her sister's page, I found her mom's page. I saw that her mom had a lot of pictures with her son. And I was wondering, like, what happened to her? So eventually I found she had gotten married. So her last name had changed. So when I Google searched her for her original name, nothing was coming up. When I found out her married last name and Google searched her, I discovered that she is now in prison. Literal prison. For the second time. She actually made national news by robbing a bank with a couple kids that she was babysitting in her back seat, and she said that she was being held at gunpoint and passed a note through the drive-through banking tube system. I just thought that was hilarious. Obviously, I'm not like karma, because that's kind of petty. I'm not holding against her what she did to me in middle school. It's just, it's funny that, like, you don't expect those things to happen. I thought she was dead. Prison never crossed my mind, but dead, yes. So I'm glad she's not dead, I guess. I guess the moral of that story is that it's okay if you're not cool in middle school and all your friends dump you because you're not wearing makeup yet or shaving your legs yet. It's fine. Keep reading your books and doing your thing. So on to the positives, because there are several. I've mentioned this before. I think that this applies to a lot of people. I've heard a few people express this idea in their videos as well, but writing every day makes me happy because that's what I love to do. You know, I've known this for a long time, but sometimes forcing yourself to write every day, even when you don't want to, proves to you once again that this is what you should be doing. If this is what you love and it makes you happy, it's what you should be doing. And honestly, I am so much happier when I'm writing every day. Days like yesterday might not show it, but overall, my life is so much better writing every single day. Another good thing that's come out of Camp NaNoWriMo is I feel like I've been figuring out my book faster than ever. That's one way I could put it. Obviously, when you go into your first draft, you have a general idea of what you're writing and what your end goal is. And I had those in mind, but I guess I feel like I got to know my characters more in these past 2 weeks than ever, which is funny because I was already halfway through the novel coming into it. But I guess just writing more in each sitting was causing me to get a better idea. Obviously, as you write a book, you get to know your characters more. The more they do, the more they say. But I just feel like writing more in each sitting was helping me figure out my story a lot faster. Hopefully those changes will be beneficial and I'll be able to apply them to the first half of my book as well. Another great thing that has come out of Camp NaNoWriMo is just the support that I've been getting. I really appreciate everyone who's been watching my videos and commenting and even just liking the video. It's been so helpful. Like my last video, I talked about some thoughts I had about standalones versus duologies or trilogies, and the responses I got were so helpful. The only other person I had talked to about this issue I was having was my boyfriend, and he was literally zero help. And so just being able to talk about my concerns and then have people give such great suggestions and advice was so helpful. So that's something that I've really loved about this Camp NaNoWriMo. I've vlogged 2 other NaNoWriMos and I feel like people have commented and been supportive, but this is like at a different level, and I don't know if that's because my mindset has changed or because I'm in this cabin that's really supportive, or I don't know what it is, but I'm just amazed at like how well that's been going. So that's my little halfway update. This is me from the future. I forgot to end this video. I was actually going to like kind of incorporate it into a vlog, but it ended up being too long. So this is the ending. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.